This Samaritan woman, who would have been someone who was half Jewish and half Gentile, there was animosity between Jews and Gentiles because of this. She's just been pierced by truth. Jesus has just spoken to her and actually laid bare in front of her whole history. So if you read the section just before, Jesus pointed out, you've actually had 5 husbands, and the man that you're currently with is not even your husband. And so the first thing that she does after Jesus points this out to her is she pivots. See what she says? Sir, I perceive that you're a prophet. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you say that in Jerusalem is the place where people ought to worship. So when you first read this, it looks like respect. She calls him a prophet. But I want you to see what's happening. She's actually shifting her focus from her soul, from her issue, to a century-old debate about worship venues. Jesus just kind of pointed out something uncomfortable about me. You know what's an interesting question, Jesus? The different place people worship. So she wants to move from shame to theology. She wants to move from her heart to the map. And by the way, that's not unusual. You'll find this. When conviction presses too close to us, we often change the subject. And so sometimes, to do with arguments about church tradition or styles of worship, that would be the Christian version of it. But in the secular world too, whenever things start pressing home about morality and that conviction, the law of God that's written on your conscience starts pressing home, suddenly we want to talk about science and about hypocrisy in the church. Hey, you know what? That's interesting about me, but you know what? What about these other topics? And those may be important, but they're also smoke screens. It's safer to discuss those things than our own thirst and guilt and need. And so this Samaritan woman asks this question, and it reveals something deeper. It's the temptation that we have to reduce worship. And by the way, if you're not used to using the word worship, it just means to see the worthiness of, to feel the worthiness of, to experience the worthiness of something. So we want to reduce that to externals. Where do you go? How do you do it? What tribe do you belong to? It's easier to debate the mountain than to face the Maker. It's easier to argue about Jerusalem than to bow to God. That's what you see happening here. And the temptation is just as alive today. We live in an age where people think of worship mainly as about my taste, about what I get out of it, and about my tribe.